Mrs. Williams! Mrs. Williams, would you mind, please, leaving your washing basket where I will not fall over it?
Well, if I do that, I shall have to hang it up on the ceiling.
Yes, well, we'll say no more about it, shall we? I know what for a task it is hanging out wet clothes, so I've decided I will help you. There you are now. That's that. It'll be dry in no time.
So it ought to be. I've only just taken it down.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? You must get something done about this collar. It's falling to pieces.
Yes, so it is. Well, why don't you do what you've done before? Take a piece out of the tail. That always... Oh, I say, well, why not make a start on the sleeves? That...
Mr. Worth.
Yes?
If you really do want to help, would you go round to the shops for me?
Of course.
I've made out a list. Here you are.
Thank you,
there's all the things you want there.
Good, I'll read it, yes. Grocer's, a packet of cornflakes, half a dozen eggs, a tube of toothpaste, and the Radio Times. That's fine, yes, lovely.
Now, that's the grocers,
yes.
the chemists, and the newsagents.
Precisely.
Now, do you think you can find everything?
Yes, of course. The cornflakes are on the left-hand shelf as you go in. Now, the eggs, if I remember rightly, if they haven't moved them, they are... Oh! Oh! Mrs. Williams! Mrs. Williams.
Well, and ever you've been and gone and done now.
What about it? This bicycle was left straddled across my front gate.
It's a liberty.
It's I don't care what make it is. You had no right to leave it there.
Well, that's not my bike.
It isn't?
Oh, anybody can see that's a man's bike.
Ah.
Don't you know the difference between that and a lady's model?
Look, in the mood I'm in at the moment, I'm not concerned with the sex of the bicycle. Why, it is the same bike, yes, I'm certain, the same bike that I fell over yesterday.
Do you know, I do believe you're right.
Well, I know I'm right. Now, who would want to leave a bicycle where they know I would fall over it? Now, who would do
Well,
that?
now, didn't you find out the other day? Last I heard, you was pushing the bike down the street, ringing the bell like mad. Didn't anybody stop you?
Yes. One small boy. He wanted a chalk ice in two corners. Pardon me. We'll soon find out who the culprit is.
Oh, you should find out pretty quick, because whoever's lost it, they're bound to come looking for it.
Exactly, and when he does, he won't find it, because I'll have it, and if he wants it, he can't get it, because I've hid it. So he'll have to ask for it, because if he doesn't know who's hid it, he's had it. Ooh.
You know, it must be marvellous to have a brain.
Absolutely.
Well, what are you going to do now?
I am going to take legal action. Mrs. Williams, I'm going to see my solicitor.
You haven't got a solicitor.
Well, I'm sure I can find one. I've no intention of weakening. First it was a car, then a lorry. Now it's a bike. This is a fight for liberty and democracy. After all, Mrs. Williams, an Englishman's home is castle. It's only a bike today, but who knows what it may be tomorrow? A principle is involved. What was it that Nelson said at Trafalgar?
You're teasing the other.
Mrs. Williams, I appeal to you as a citizen. Why don't we go forward together, you and I, unafraid, forward up!
Yeah?
There's Mr. Worth to you, Mr. Robinson.
Worth? Has he an appointment?
No, sir, but he says it's very urgent.
Very well, I'll have a word with him. I can give him 5 minutes and no more.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Robinson says he'll have a word with you, Mr. Worth.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Robinson, this is Harry Worth speaking. I have a problem, and as you are a solicitor, perhaps you may be able to help me. Are you receiving me?
No, Mr. Worth. They're through to Mr. Robinson's office, through that door.
Hello, Mr. Robinson. If you're still on the line, I am coming in. Roger and out.
Come in.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yes, Mr. Worth, won't you be seated? I shan't be a moment.
Thank you.
Something the matter, Mr. Worth?
Well, thinking, isn't it amazing how you can get the wrong impression about people?
I beg your pardon?
Well, as I was listening to you out there, I pictured you as a rather smart, handsome-looking fellow. Which just proves how wrong the voice can be and very deceptive. I bet you were wrong about me, too.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Now, Mr. Worth, I've only a few minutes to spare, so what can I do for you?
Yes, well, is this switched off?
Yes.
You see, what I have to say is rather confidential.
Mr. Worth, perhaps I should inform you that as a practicing solicitor, I have certain duties and obligations which I'm not in the habit of taking lightly. Any information passed to me by any of my clients, whether orally or in writing, will not be divulged to any third party under any circumstances whatsoever, without the prior consent of the said client. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, perfectly. There's only one thing.
Yes?
You won't tell anybody, will you?
Have no worries, Mr. Worth. Now, what is your problem?
A bicycle.
A bicycle?
Yeah.
And in what way does this bicycle present a problem?
I keep falling over it. You see, it's usually leaning across my front gate.
I'm afraid you haven't made your position quite clear, Mr. Worth. Could we approach it from a different direction?
Well, yeah, but not without climbing over the back wall. Which would be rather inconvenient, I think you'll agree.
You'll correct me if I am wrong,
Yes.
Mr. Worth,
Yes.
but I gather that someone keeps leaving a bicycle outside your front gate and you keep falling over it, right?
Wrong. I never fall over the gate, only the bicycle.
Mr. Worth,
Yes.
why have you come to me about this?
Well, it was Mrs. Williams' idea after I put it in the shed.
Well, I don't really think that I can help you. I suggest you have a word with the owner or write him a letter restraining him from parking.
Oh, I already sent him a note last Tuesday. I wrote a note, I put on it. Please leave your cycle somewhere else, whoever you are, and I pinned it to his tire.
Did it have any effect?
Immediately, the tire went, psst.
The tire went... Mr. Worth, I fail to see how I can be of any help whatsoever. You don't even appear to know who owns the bicycle.
Oh, well, I realized you would require a little more evidence, so I made a point of watching from my bedroom window last night. And I could see the cycle and the gate quite clearly. Now, I sat there from 11 o'clock until 1:30, and you'll never guess what happened.
What?
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Robinson?
The commissionaire on the door today, is it Charlie, our ex-wrestler friend?
Yes, sir.
Good. Tell him to wait. I might need him.
Oh. No, Mr. Robinson, you're barking up the wrong tree. That commissionaire of yours is quite a small man, far too small for this bicycle. Nevertheless, it was a jolly good try. Now, where were we?
Mr. Worth, there's nothing I can do for you. The best thing you can do is to report the whole affair to the police.
Yes. Well, I've already written a letter to the chief constable. Perhaps you would care to read it. Would you mind?
Grocers, 1 packet of cornflakes, half a dozen...
I beg your pardon. I've given you the wrong letter. Silly of me. Yes. There you are.
Thank you. To the Chief Constable, Woodbridge.
Yes.
Dear sir or madam. I am taking the liberty of writing to you personally because although we have never met, I feel we are mutual acquaintances. You see, Auntie used to shop at the same grocer's as your wife's sister.
I thought a personal touch might help.
I'm sure it will.
Yes.
Therefore, I would like to advise you that should you get any inquiries about a missing bicycle from Acacia Avenue, it is in my shed. Yours sincerely, Harry Worth. Oh, P.S. On second thoughts, it wasn't the grocer's. It wasn't the grocer's.
No, I thought I'd make that point quite clear. You see, where my auntie used to meet his sister-in-law wasn't the grocer's, fishmongers.
Makes all the difference.
Yes, quite. Well, how do you think I stand?
All I can say is this. If this case should ever come before a magistrate, I hope I'm defending the owner of the bicycle.
And a very wise decision. He'll probably need a very good solicitor. Now, I'll post this on my way home. Do you happen to have an envelope?
You can get one from my secretary.
Thank you, thank you. And possibly, if you don't mind, a stamp.
Yes, she will give you that as well.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Worth, I am rather busy.
Oh, quite. You've been most kind. Now, what do I owe you?
Nothing, Mr. Worth, absolutely nothing.
No, come, please. There's the envelope and the threepenny stamp, and I know how valuable your time is. I must pay you something.
Very well, Mr. Worth, if you insist.
Right, shall we say a shilling? There we are, 9pence, 10pence, 11pence, 8penny. Oh, I beg your pardon, I appear to be a 8penny short.
Don't worry, Mr. Worth, I expect I shall manage.
No, fair's fair. We'll settle this in a business-like manner. Now, heads, you owe me 8penny, tails, I owe you. Where did it go?
Let's not worry about it, Mr. Worth. I'll find it after you've gone.
Yes. I suppose I can trust you, you being a solicitor. But if it should be heads, remember, you owe me 8penny.
Miss Taylor, find an envelope and a threepenny stamp and give it to that lunatic who's just left this office.
She's not here, Mr. Robinson. I can't find a stamp, so I'll just take the envelope. So now you owe me 3pence. 3pence!
I'm so sorry, but Mr. Worth is out at the moment, but I'm expecting him back any minute. Oh, he hasn't been doing anything foolish, has he?
Oh, no, nothing like that at all. I'm just making a few routine inquiries, that's all, about a missing bicycle.
Bicycle? Well, have you found out who it belongs to?
As a matter of fact, it belongs to me.
It belongs to you? But you're a policeman.
Yeah, well, we still have bicycles, you know, Mum. Yeah, I left it outside of your front gate this morning and it's vanished. You just can't trust anybody these days. Still, perhaps Mr. Worth can throw some light on the subject.
Oh, no, I'm sure he couldn't do that. You see, he's been out all the morning, and I've just remembered he won't be back till this evening.
Surprise!
Oh, whatever are you doing here?
What am I doing here? It's me. Look, Mrs. Williams, me.
Mr. Worth.
Yeah, now, Constable.
Mr. Worth, I must tell you something.
Yes, but it will do later. I want to talk to the...
Mr. Worth, I will tell you.
Please, we have the arm of the law with us now. Later, Mrs. Williams, please.
All right.
What a funny... Now, what can I do for you?
Well, say it's about a missing bicycle.
Oh, so soon. My word, that was quick work. I've only just posted a letter to your chief constable.
Well, really, there's a coincidence.
Yes.
Yes, sir, but I wondered if you could help me with my inquiries. You see, we're trying to track down a bicycle thief.
So the bicycle was stolen, was it?
Do you know something about the bike, sir?
Well, that's what I've just written to the chief constable about it. I should have a word with him if I were you. He's no right to send you out with half a tail, you know. You should have a word with him.
Well, between you and me, sir, as yet the chief constable doesn't know.
And it does not come as a surprise. How some of these men land these big jobs is beyond me. Probably you, too.
Yes, quite so, sir. Well, to get back to this other business, did you actually see a man with the bicycle?
No, I played it much cleverer than that. No, I'm waiting for him to come looking for it.
Yeah, but why should he come looking for it when he's already stolen it?
But I think you'll agree, if we have the bike, we get the thief.
Yes.
And there I think I can help you.
And I tell you this, whoever stole my bike from outside your front gate will get 6 months.
And that is what he deserves if I had your bike.
Well, that's the one we're talking about, isn't it?
Perhaps we'd better go into the house. Would you like a cup of tea? Or a...
No, thank you very much. I'm quite all right. I'm sorry, sir.
Not at all.
Now, could you tell me, have you seen any suspicious-looking characters around this neighborhood lately?
Oh, well, now, I was coming home rather late the other night, and I was passing the shops at the end of the avenue. You know the ones I mean. And there was a suspicious-looking fellow. He was shining his torch into the windows, and he was trying all the doors. You could see he was up to no good.
What time would this be, sir?
11 to 11:30, and this is very telling. He was wheeling a bicycle.
That was me.
None of us are perfect.
No, well, I'm very sorry you can't help us, Mr. Worth. I'll go and try next door.
Next door.
If you do think of anything, you might let us know.
Yes, next door. Yes, thank you very much. Oh,
Mr. Worth!
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I didn't mean to startle you. If you do get any information, you can contact me at High Lane Station.
Lou Line yes, of course. Mrs. Williams! Mrs. Oh, Mrs. Williams.
Has he gone?
Yes, there's no need to whisper. Look, I'm a bicycle thief. It belongs to the constable.
Yes, I know.
You know, well, why didn't you tell me?
You didn't give me a chance.
That is no excuse. Mrs. Williams, I beg your pardon. I shouldn't have shouted at you. I'm very sorry. Now, what am I going to do?
You must get rid of it quick.
Yes, that's it. Get
They'll
rid of it.
find it sooner or later.
Yes.
It's only a matter of time.
Time, and I'll be doing it.
But you know, there's one consolation.
Really? Is there?
There's nobody knows where that bicycle is except you and me.
Yes, and the chief constable. The chief constable. I must get the letter back.
A letter?
The letter I put in the post box. I must get it back, or I'll go to prison for 6 months. 6 months. Look, if by any chance I don't get back, there's something you can do for me. Cancel the milk. Yes, postman. Thank goodness I've caught you. Have you emptied this yet?
Oh, no, not yet. You've got another minute now.
Oh, a minute and a half. Oh, well, it was a near thing, though, wasn't it? Oh,
Well, aren't you going to pop it in?
yeah. Pop what in?
The letter.
Oh, no. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. What?
You do realize if I don't actually take your letter out of the box, you will miss the post.
I'm relying on it. Now, how much time have we got?
Just short of a minute.
Just short of a minute. Hasn't it been a funny day? Rain and then sun. Funny weather. Funny weather.
Very. Yeah. I am right in thinking that you want to get a letter in this box.
Definitely.
It is important.
It's vital.
Well, you've got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. 20.
Look, mister, the suspense is killing me. Why don't you get your letter out?
How can I get it out until you open it?
What do I want to open it for? You haven't written it to me, have you?
Well, I only wish I had. I've a feeling I could talk to you. You'd understand.
Well, I only hope that you understand that I've got my duty to do, and your letter won't catch this post.
And I appreciate it. I shall certainly write to the Postmaster General and tell him how helpful you've been, over and above your duty.
And all I can say is if you go the same way about posting it, it'll be a very long time getting it.
Yes, very funny.
Right, that's it. Time's up.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. You're too late now. I'm going to empty the box.
Good.
I said you're too late now.
Oh, I'm not too late.
You tried to tell me what to do. I am the postman, and I say you're too late.
Well, I'm Harry Worth. I say I'm not too late.
You're too late.
I'm not too late.
You're too late.
I am not too late.
You are too late.
I'm not too late. It's the one that hasn't got a stamp on.
What hasn't got a stamp on?
The letter I put in the box.
You didn't put a letter in this box.
I only wish I could believe you.
I wish you'd push off.
How can I push off until I get my letter back?
Did you post a letter to the Sanitary Inspector, Town Hall, Barnsley?
No, I didn't.
No, well, you can't have the letter back then.
Why not?
Because that's the only letter in here.
Well, I definitely posted a letter to the Chief Constable, Woodbridge Police.
Not in here, you didn't.
But I distinctly remember putting it in the box.
Look, there are 27 pillar boxes in this town. What box was it?
A red one. Oh, red. But I distinctly remember leaving the solicitor's office and posting it in that very slot. I know it was that box because of the sign on top that said post office.
What sign?
Wait, sign that!
Oh, yes. Marvellous, isn't it? Well, I'm very sorry I can't hang about here. I've got my job to do. If you posted the letter to the Chief Constable, there's nothing you can do to stop him getting it. It'll be on his mat first thing in the morning.
Will it?
Yeah.
Pardon me, just a moment.
Yes?
Might I ask you a question? Have you ever stolen a bicycle?
Do I look the sort of bloke that would steal a bicycle?
Yes.
Morning, sir.
Oh, what is it, Savage? I'm very busy. I don't want to be disturbed for at least an hour.
Well, there's a Mr. Worth outside asking to see you, sir.
What does he want? Who is he?
A bit of a crank, if you ask me, sir. I found him sitting on the steps outside at 6 o'clock this morning.
It's a bit early for drunks, isn't it, Savage? Has he had a medical examination?
Oh, yes, sir. As a matter of fact, Dr. Travis was here when the man came in.
Good. What was the result?
And according to the doctor's findings, Mr. Worth is stone cold sober.
Strange. Where's Dr. Travis now?
At the Red Lion, sir. He said he had to go out and get drunk.
What is wrong with all you people this morning? Surely you can deal with one man without any more trouble. All right, send him in. Let's get it on with.
Very good, sir. Mr. Worth, the Chief Constable will see you now, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Here, there. Your key.
Thank you, sir.
Not at all.
Morning.
How do you do? Good morning.
Won't you sit down?
Yes, thank you.
Now then, what's all this about, Mr. West?
Well, first things first now, has the mail arrived yet?
Mail? No.
Oh, well, that's all right then. I'll just sit here. You carry on. I won't disturb you.
Now, look, Mr. West.
Yes, yes.
I am very busy. If
Yes.
you have anything to tell me, then go ahead. Otherwise, I must ask you to leave.
Oh, I've nothing to tell you, but perhaps you could give me a little advice.
Well, I'll try, Mr. Worth. What
Well-
do you want to know?
Do the beds in your cells, do they have interior sprung mattresses? And do the prisoners have to provide their own sheets?
Well, from what I've just heard, if you go on behaving as you have done at the station this morning, you'll very soon find out.
Well, thank you very much indeed.
Anything else?
Yes, there is one thing. Supposing someone stole something, just supposing, mind you, but they didn't know at the time they were stealing it until after they'd stolen it. Would it have been stolen when they were stealing it if they didn't know it was stolen? Or would it be an accessory after the fact? Would it?
Well, I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about, but then perhaps I am a little dim this morning.
Yeah, perhaps. Yes.
Well?
No. Who am I to argue with the Chief Constable?
Sir, the mail's arrived.
Ah, good,
There
good.
are 3 marked personal there, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Worth!
Yes,
Ah, there's one of them without a stamp.
they've sent you a letter without a stamp on it. Give it to me immediately, Chief Constable. I will return it to the post office. They have no...
I am dealing with this, Mr.
Yes, that's what I was afraid of.
You were right, Savage.
Thank you, sir.
What? Eh?
Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Worth, I must open the mail.
But don't you think you better hear what I've got to say before you open that?
Please, Mr. Worth.
But I...
Please.
Oh,
Mr. Worth.
yes.
Uh-huh. Got him. He'll get 3 years, this fellow.
3 years, but the constable said it would be only 6 months.
What, 6 months for a bank robbery?
Oh, I thought you were talking...
Yes, Mr. Worth.
Oh, well, I thought you meant something else.
Hello?
Yes, well,
This fellow must be a raving lunatic, some sort of nutcase.
has he got a stamp on?
Yes.
Oh, well, it must be another nutcase.
I don't know. We'll get some crackpots writing to us.
Crackpots right into you. Crackpots, yes. They're all crackpots.
This is the one without the stamp.
Yes, crackpot.
Beg your pardon.
Crackpot!
Every single letter that we receive here has to be checked personally.
Crackpot!
Whether we think they're facts or not. You never know. They may be speaking the truth.
Then I take it you're going to open that letter,
Yes,
then.
why not?
Well, there's something I should tell you.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
I wrote that letter, and I would like to make a statement.
Well, wouldn't it be better if I read the letter first?
Yes, but may I say in mitigation, you see, once I was a Boy Scout. You know, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, brotherly, courteous, kind, obedient, smiling, thrifty, pure as the rustling wine. Now, will you bear that in mind while you're reading that letter? Now, I throw myself at your mercy. Go on, read it, read it, read it.
Grocers, a packet of cornflakes.
Grocer's packet of... This is wonderful. This is marvelous. There's nothing on this, but there's not a word about the...
I don't see anything wonderful about packet of cornflakes, half a dozen eggs.
Don't you see? All I've got to do now is get rid of the evidence.
Ah, if there is any evidence, you must leave it at the police station.
Evidence, leave it at the police station.
Yeah.
What a wonderful suggestion. Thank you very much indeed. By what time do you close?
Get out of here! Hello, Savage. I'm going out. If anybody asks for me, I'm with Dr. Travis at the Red Lion.
Mrs. Williams, I'm free. It's all right. Everything's all right.
I'm quite sure it's all right, Mr. Worth.
Absolutely everything worked according to plan. They've got their title back, and I've got my letter back. Isn't it wonderful?
Nobody noticed you leaving it outside the police station.
Not a soul. I was most careful. Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, Dolly.
Excuse me a minute, mate. Just a minute, mate.
Yes.
But I noticed you left your bike outside the police station, so I brought it back for you. Now, you should be more careful.
Oh, no. Mrs. Williams, I'm a hunter man again. Please.